Dan, how are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. Managed to get through training this morning, which was sort of the last little hurdle. So been managed quite carefully all week. Medics have been brilliant, and yeah, feel pretty good, confident in taking the field Saturday.
What have you done since Saturday night?
Not a huge amount, to be honest. It's been a lot of time spent in the physio room. A lot of time just recovering, and I think mentally just sort of taking a couple of days to switch off from obviously a tough game and enjoy a little bit of relaxing and recovering mentally and physically, really. But not a huge amount of training. I think there's been a few dinged up bodies around the place, and just about getting ourselves right for Saturday now.
Do you feel the worst from Saturday night?
Yes and no. I didn't feel like it was ever I suppose like a dislocate or anything like that. I knew that it was just a pretty heavy contact, so it was just whether that would settle down in time, and fingers crossed it looks like it's pretty good.
Not one you wanted to miss?
No, absolutely. It's a great opportunity on Saturday for us to win a series here, which I think if we said that 4 or 5 weeks ago before we flew, you'd probably have been laughed out of town in terms of if I was to be saying that sat in front of you. So definitely not one to miss, and really looking forward to it. As a group, we've put a huge amount into this tour in terms of the amount of training we've done, the amount of sacrifices we've made, and we've worked our absolute socks off. So it would be brilliant to get a full reward at the end of Saturday.
And not many put you in this position. You've got a chance of beating South Africa and Springboks in South Africa.
Yeah, well, that's sounds that's the exciting challenge, and we're really looking forward to it. We know that this is our last week of this, last week of the season, so we can go out and give absolutely everything, leave it all out there, and hopefully we can enjoy a really good break with some really positive memories of this trip.
Thank you.
Dan, you all had long seasons. When you get into this final week, does that become a bit of a galvanising force? You can see that, not the beach is inside, but
yeah, no, I know what you're saying, mate. It's the message all week has been we've had to try and avoid that, because I think as soon as you mentally switch off, you just lose a little bit in yourself, in the team, and it only has to be a little bit at this level to make sure that you're at the wrong end of a result or performance. So from our point of view, it's been very much focused on a couple of days at the start of the week, just recovering and just switching off a little bit as well, because traditionally we've always done that when we've come away on tour. We've always had a couple of days where the players have got a bit of a chance to not let the hair down, but certainly relax and go out for dinner and take away a little bit of the stress of the early part of the week, which has been for all season. But I think what it does give you then when you get back into training, it means you've only got to raise yourself for one more week, really, and you can really give everything to it. So we're hoping that a couple of days at the start of the week have freshened us up, ready to go for piling everything into Saturday.
You expecting more of the same from the Springboks?
Yeah, I think they'll. It's going to be a great occasion. I think obviously they've picked more of the team that played in Pretoria, so they'll have had a bit of match fitness under their belts and match sharpness at Pretoria. So you'd imagine that it's going to be very much the same. Yeah, it's like I've said before in conferences, it's almost more of a credit to South Africa and how well drilled and coached and how well they do the basics. Is that our defensive review every time you play South Africa is very similar. You know exactly what's coming, but it's just whether you're good enough or powerful enough to stop it on the day. And I just want to say as well, I think rightly should say to Bongi and Iban, 50th and 100th cap is it's a special mark for them as well. So hopefully we can make it not that enjoyable for them on Saturday. And but yeah, congratulations to those two on special achievements.
Another achievement, George is going to become the most cap back in Welsh rugby history. Just talk a lot of you around for a lot of those caps. Talk about his influence.
Yeah, well, I think George he sort of reinvented himself a little bit, hasn't he, over the last couple of years in terms of that moving inside to centre, and I think he's the break has probably done him good as well. He's been able to sort of look after his body a little bit, and he's coming back quite fresh into this environment. So huge achievement of someone so young as well, really. I think he's only just turned 30, so special achievement by him. And I was going to say it was a race between me and him, but I think he's got more in the legs than me, that's for sure. I don't fancy chasing too many more. So yeah, really special achievement, and just deserves all the credit he gets. And hopefully he can just be as solid as he's been in the last sort of few outings in that 13 shirt, and he'll be in a good spot for Saturday.
Dan, last year the Lions were in a similar position, 1-0 going to the final test, and New Year, Cape Town Stadium, same venue. Any lessons from that occasion? It was also very tight. I think it was 1916.
Yeah, not overly. I think it's just we've tried to just like I said to the guys, just try and pile everything into this week now and give everything. It was similar last year, like you said, last week of the season. Sort of, it's probably going to come down to small margins again on Saturday. So for us, it's just about being as disciplined and putting in an 80-minute performance. So we've been really good in the first couple of tests. We haven't given the Springboks too many cheap points or cheap entries, and we're hoping that if we're as clinical as we have been the last couple of weeks, then we're going to be right in with a shout.
Wayne spoke earlier about the discipline, the yellow cards and that, and a couple of unnecessary penalties. It's obviously going to be crucial Saturday.
Yeah, as it is in every game, but in particular when you play the Springboks, you're inviting them to get that driving maul game going, the set piece game, the territory game, and that's when they come under real pressure. We feel like we've been fairly comfortable in terms of what they're throwing at us, but ultimately when they turn the power on and you spend a lot of time in your own half against this team, you're going to get punished. So it's about making sure that we keep the ball on the park as often as we can. We nullify their line-up game, which obviously then comes down to discipline. If we can keep penalties to anything under, anything sort of 10 or under, and you're in with a real shout of winning a game. So that will be our aim.
A lot has been said about the tempers and pushing and shoving off the ball stuff. Will there be a bit of that as well? Obviously there'll be a capacity crowd as well.
Yeah, I don't. There's never any plan to do that, but I think it's been great for us. I've really enjoyed that side of it, because that's what Test match rugby is about. It's we certainly didn't want to come here and just lie down and roll the carpet out for the Springboks. So I think it's been really good that's hopefully sort of got, it's just got us going a little bit as well, and just certainly not taking a step back and backing down to the challenge. It's been really I've really quite enjoyed that side, and I've enjoyed what the team have done in that sense in terms of not giving an inch really. And I think I'd be disappointed if we were any softer than we have been the last couple of weeks on Saturday. And like I said, Cape Town Stadium, we played there last year, and it was again really soulless without a crowd. So hopefully capacity crowd in, everything on the line, it'll be a great occasion.
Right, we've got time for a couple more, so we'll go to Brendan first and then
Dan, just Peter Steph obviously made what life your space a bit smaller there, and he was also targeting you. Are you expecting the same, especially now? Targeting that shoulder.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect anything different anyway. It's I think if it wasn't right, then it would be a different side selected anyway. So I'll enjoy that challenge anyway. But I think it'll be, like you said, I wouldn't expect anything different from the Springboks on Saturday. Same as if we were targeting someone in that aspect. So looking forward to it and relishing it really.
Just lastly, sorry, you must be, the comparison to the third test, Lions, that you must be happy more nice things not around.
I was going to say, I'm sure they'll maybe helicopter him in or something on Saturday, and he'll be there for a kick on 80 minutes or something. But thankfully he's in a suit on Saturday and nowhere near the pitch.
And last question.
Just one from me. A lot of these Springbok players this week, when asked about the Wales style of rugby, they've likened it to theirs, and I feel there's a very similar way in which you approach your game, hence why the matches are often such close encounters. Is it something that you see as well, in the way that you guys play compared to how they play?
I think so, yeah. I think I was reading the pre-match program, and they had, I think it was the last 6 or 7 meetings in the between us and the Springboks, and I think correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they were all 1-score games in terms of the last however many times we played them, whether we've come out on top or they have. And I think that's almost a bit of a compliment to South Africa, really, because we feel whenever we sort of play South Africa, we always feel like we don't want to give them too much to come and hit, or too much to try and get their teeth sunk into early doors and assert their dominance. So we've always felt like we want to play the game in the right part of the field, and if you do that, then you limit how many chances you give the Springboks to come and get that driving line-out game, the set-piece game, and the power game going. So I think that's probably why we're always in with a shout against them, and we've got a decent record, because, like I said, we're trying to fight fire with fire a little bit, and certainly not put ourselves under any unnecessary pressure. And as like you said, the Springboks are going to be doing the same. They're going to want us to try and do that and force errors and play the game in our end as opposed to in their own half.
Okay, thank you everyone.
Thanks, guys.